Alright, what the fuck is up, everybody? I am Brazil from Death and Taxes, which is the guild that Strife belongs to. Some of you may know me already. Some of you may have seen some of the threads I've posted around the internet or have seen Eugene's videos. Those are mine. But today I am making, I guess, a more serious video for Guardian, which will go over the build that I play. I'm in groups. I play this build everywhere. Like whenever I pug, which is very not common at all, I'll play this build. If I'm doing speed runs, I'll play this build. If I'm killing Lupicus in 20 seconds, I'll probably be playing a Mesmer. But this is a build that you could, I guess, use for speed clearing Lupicus if you want to shoot for a record time. But it's not something that everyone is going to be comfortable playing. That's for sure. Because if you do get hit, if you by not dodging, by not blocking, whatever the case may be, you can't take a whole lot of hits with this. You have very little HP, and you've got no armor, or well, I guess just default armor. You have no toughness, but yeah, it's not any sort of a tanky build. I don't think those are worth anything. I don't really think altruistic healing is worth playing anymore, even though that's, I believe, Strife's most recent build that he has, I guess, gotten a lot of attention from. But anyhow, I'll go ahead and pull up the hero tab and go over traits. So it is a 030 fuck 10 build, which I don't have 10 in virtues right now. But you want to have Master of Consecrations and virtues. I guess I'll just start there since I'm retarded. But this is definitely huge if you play fractals and you use Wall of Reflect. Wall of Reflect is a very strong skill for really any dungeon. Maybe not COE so much, or COF Path 1, but there are other places where you can definitely use it. Fractals, you can use it a lot in a raw, especially at Lupicus to reflect, or just for like eye turrets and stuff. CM, it is huge because of all the goddamn mobs that shoot at you there. But yeah, it's definitely a very strong skill, and if you're playing with Lightning Hammer Elementalists that require you to use fire fields a lot, it's also very strong if you were to take something like Purging Flames or Hallowed Ground. These two are both consecrations. Hallowed Ground gets its cooldown reduced to 64 seconds, and its duration brought to, well, I guess 10 seconds. Spility's duration is increased, and then Purging Flames is also on a 28-second cooldown. So you can do like Hallowed Ground and then Purging Flames, and then, or I guess Purging Flames, Hallowed Ground, Purging Flames. That's the rotation you'd want to do with that. And Ellie can also start off a fight with their fire field. So there's a good chance that you'll have fire fields up for at least a lot of the fight, and that's a lot of might stacks. And I believe if the Elementalist has 30 points into their fire trait line, whenever they blast a fire field, it gives Fury as well. So that's something to consider. If you want to roll in Ellie, I'd definitely suggest it. It's pretty fun playing with the hammer. But anyhow, the rest of this build, you've got 30 into Radiance, and that's mainly because we're going to be playing with One-Handed Sword, which does very good auto-attack DPS. That's the primary form of DPS you're going to be dealing is from the auto-attacks from Sword. So you've got Justice is blind. Whenever you activate Virtue of Justice, everyone is blinded around you, and you've also got this down here, Inspired Virtue. So basically, every time you activate Virtue of Justice, you're going to blind everything around you. Like, this is fantastic in Fractals, aside from Dredge, because you can blind trash mobs. And then you've also got Blind Exposure rather. So you can apply Vulnerability whenever you blind something. And then you've also got Renewed Justice, so each time you kill something, then your Virtue of Justice comes back off cooldown. This is huge in Fractals. It is very strong. You're sort of like playing a mini thief when you're on your Guardian, so it's definitely 15 in Radiance is huge. And if you're already taking 15 into Radiance, you might as well just go balls deep and go for Sword. And then that brings us, I guess, up next to Powerful Blades. Sword and spear damage is increased by 5%. That's pretty good. 5% is always nice to have, especially since you don't have Fiery Wrath and Zeal. You're losing out on 10% damage against burn foes, but making up for it with your 10 virtues, I guess, with your consecrations and your might stacks from activating Virtue of Justice as well. And then 25, we've got Radiant Power, so it's... I don't recall specifically what the percentage of damage this does to foes with conditions. I think it was 10. I may be incorrect, so you could go look around for yourself. I'm far too lazy to do it. It's just kind of collateral for me to get Radiant Power. But, and then Right Hand Strength, this is absolutely huge. You will literally have like a 100% crit chance with Sword. And if you have Fury and you're running all Berserker's armor, it's just you're gonna crit like every single attack. You're gonna do loads of damage. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's definitely strong DPS. And then moving down to Honor, Vigorous Precision. You've got Vigor every 5 seconds, and however it works. So you're always gonna have Vigor. You're gonna be able to dodge. You shouldn't ever have a problem avoiding damage with this, because you're going to be able to dodge plenty, and you've also got your blocks from like Focus 5, and you've got blinds as well for trash mobs, so you've got a lot of survivability that doesn't come from HP and toughness, I guess you could put it that way. But then you've got Superior Aria, Shouts recharge 20% faster. That's kind of a generic trait, and it's great with Shouts, I guess that's obvious. Selfless Daring, not really a big deal, but I guess it's nice. Free HP when you dodge. And then you've got Empowering Might. This is a pretty big deal, so you're gonna basically always be giving your group might stacks. I think there's a 1 or 2 second internal cooldown. Again, I don't remember the exact number. Generally, I keep up 4 might stacks, maybe 5. I haven't paid close attention to it for a while, so again, my exact knowledge of it may be skewed a bit, and you may correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Elusive Power, you're really never going to be at low endurance, especially since you've got Vigorous Precision, fucking shit words. God damn it, motherfucker, cock. Anyways, yeah, Pure Voice, your Grandmaster trait. Allies affected by shouts convert one condition to a boon. This is awesome because if you're playing with warriors that have 10 in tactics and they're taking empowered, they're essentially getting a free boon every time you shout. So you've got like shouts, like for example, hold the line, that gives protection and regen. And say if your warrior is crippled, you use it. The cripple will, I believe, turn into swiftness. It's sort of like you could think of it as the opposite of what they're affected with. And if I'm wrong about that, then just fuck me. God damn it, I should know these things, but I don't really think about them as much. I kind of just go in and kick ass. That's kind of, I guess that's good. Just going in and kicking ass will get you far. It's worked for me, I guess. But anyways, real fast onto armor and weapons. Everything is pretty much Berserkers. It's just obvious. PvE content is you use Berserkers gear, and nothing else matters. That's just how the game works if you're wanting to be as efficient as possible. For armor, you can take Scholar Runes, and that's definitely what I would suggest. You're getting just like huge damage increases from the 10% damage while over 90% health. That should not ever be a problem for you. Like, you should be able to main 90% health. And quoting Nike, I believe that if you are over 90% health 24% of the time, then Scholar Runes are worth taking over Ruby Orbs, so that should be pretty easy for you with blocks and dodges and all that shit. It should be easy to maintain that bonus, and then you've also got power and crit damage, which is great to have. I would also suggest, on top of, I guess, your sword and focus, take a staff, and I like to put Sigil of Bloodlust on my staff. As far as like sword focus sigils, I take strength on sword just for extra might stacks, and force on the focus for 5% damage. If you want to be anal and take fucking like Sigil of Night, then that's fine. That's up to you. Or if you wanted to use like dungeon specific sigils, that's alright as well. I don't really bother because I don't care that much. But trinkets, everything, if you have the option, you want to go Berserkers Ascended, that's I guess the most optimal route, and back piece, if you want to be a faggot like me and not have one because you have a goddamn soldier's back piece from months ago, then just get a rare one. Who gives a fuck? Underwater weapons, like Berserkers, but like sigils, shit like that, don't worry about them. Then the water breather, it doesn't matter, who cares? It's not worth, in my opinion, spending the money on a Scholar Rune and fucking putting on a water breather. But yeah, and then optional weapons that I suppose you could have. You could be a badass and get 2 great swords. Put great sword, you probably want to put Sigil of Force. I believe it's something like 1.25% better than Sigil of Accuracy. Again, number's probably wrong. I don't care. Fuck all of you. That's fine. Whatever. You could take a Scepter, obviously, for whenever you need to range, like maybe the Dredge Power Suit, or a Imbued Shaman, Legendary Imbued Shaman. Ranged weapons are pretty good there. And then a hammer. If you want to use a hammer, then hammer's pretty goddamn fun to play. And speaking of hammer, I believe I will also be uploading a hammer video, or maybe I will, I don't know. I'm undecided on a hammer build. I think I have one that works, but at the same time it's also impractical, but it's fun as hell to play, so you might see one of those pop up. And then last, now that I seem to have forgotten to fucking go over goddamn elite skills and virtues. Virtue of Justice, use it whenever it's off cooldown, just use it all the time. Virtue of Courage, use it when you need to block for somebody, that should be obvious. Leaving it up for the passive is stupid. You're much better off saving your teammate. You just do that. Use it when you need to block, like the Abomination and Arapath 2. Whenever it jumps in the air, use a block. You're done. Your group doesn't have to dodge, you can just sit there and melee, it's awesome. And then, I will go ahead and demonstrate this since maybe it's been unclear to people in the past, but Renewed Focus, you can channel Renewed Focus, spam your virtues, and then whenever it comes up, you've got your virtues back immediately, and you can use them again, although you shouldn't really be using Virtue of Resolve at all. You should only be using these two, Courage and Justice. But anyways, that's about it. I apologize if I've rambled on for too long and you've already, I guess, lost your attention or moved on. I don't know how to phrase that. Whatever. But yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I will most likely be making a Mesmer video, possibly another Guardian video, maybe even a Warrior video, and the Ranger video should already be up, so check that out if you like. And subscribe to Strife if you like the video, because I'm a whore, and that's about it, and I will see you guys later.